Today for episode 18 of How to Build the Classic Minigames Lobby, we'll be building the second part of the sword building. This will be the first floor of 3 of course, including the middle floor and the roof itself, which is all 3 in general, and will include some redstone, but overall won't be that challenging to build. So to get started, we're going to first add in all our walls for the building. To start, we're going to go to the last row of our oak planks that we placed in the previous episode and build up 4 blocks with our stone bricks. Then we're just going to simply extend these stone bricks all the way across to the other side, of course, making the entire of the back wall. Now from here we're going to start adding in our walls at the front of the building. First we'll start on the front left side and come to the end of the oak planks and then place our oak doors side by side, of course, so they open kind of outwards. You should hopefully see what I'm doing here. And then beside those oak doors we're going to place 2 stone bricks just like this. From here we're going to go behind those stone bricks and we're going to place 4 more stone bricks going back, and then 7 more stone bricks going across to the right, then 5 more stone bricks coming towards the front, and then finally just 1 more stone brick on the right of that on the side, which should make it look the exact same on both sides. We can also add in our iron doors just like this as well, like what we done with the oak doors, but be sure to add them in correctly because you'll see I made a mistake and I actually mentioned that later on in the video, but it's not a big deal, but it should look just like this on both sides. Now to finish the walls, we're simply going to go to each corner at the front and place 1 stone brick and then 1 chisel stone brick, and then we're going to use the rest of our stone bricks and bring up the walls that we just built at the front up to 4 blocks high so that they are the exact same height as the walls at the back. If it's a little bit complicated to follow along, hopefully you can just watch what I'm doing. I'd imagine it's not that complicated. It's literally just placing in stone bricks, and probably just my audio description isn't really the best for it, but hopefully it should be easy enough to follow along. Now moving on from the walls, we're going to start working on the outside of the sword building, primarily the front area. First, we're going to add in our 9 slime blocks above our previously placed 9 slime blocks. We've done that obviously in the previous episode, but you should be able to see what we're doing right here. Then we're going to take out our spruce wood stairs and place them in these very specific places. Again, rather easy to follow along. And then once you've done that, we're just going to simply move on to placing in the leaves around the trampoline itself, and then really easily just adding in our 5 spruce slabs. And lastly, to finish up kind of all the extra little details to some extent of the front area, we're going to add in our glowstone light in the middle. I do apologize again for the audio or for the lack of audio description for this part, but I'm sure you guys can easily just follow along. We actually bought one of these lights when we were doing the front gateway tower, in fact, way back in the past in one of the earlier episodes of the series, so hopefully it should be easy enough to do as well. Now we'll get started on our pillars. So first, on both the left and right corners, we're going to place a log, and then above that log, we're going to place an additional 4 logs, so making it 5 blocks tall. Then we'll add 1 oak stair pointing towards a fountain on the front of each side, of course, and lastly an oak trapdoor on the side. From here, we're just going to be adding in all our extra cobblestone walls, which I can't really audibly describe, so hopefully you can just follow along with what I'm doing and recall, or do remember, excuse me, not do recall, that you can obviously just pause or turn in the playback speed if it's going a little bit too quick for you. Also, real quick, as a small thing that I actually almost forgot to do, you're going to want to as well add in an upside down stone brick stair above the chisel stone bricks that we placed previously, and that'll be us done for the entire of the front section of the build. So before we finish up the build and do the roof, let's get the interior for the first floor done. To begin, we'll first take our carpets, and behind the oak doors we're going to place a 2x2 square. Then on the right of that square we're going to extend the carpet back 4 blocks, and then finally to the right by another 2 blocks. Now we'll place 5 oak stairs at the front going up, making sure that behind each and every single oak stair we place an oak plank, and that'll be us. Now we're going to go back downstairs to the bottom floor, of course, and continue where we left off. And where we just placed our carpet to a minute ago, we're going to place an iron door, and then behind that iron door we're going to add 10 more carpets. And then to finish off with our carpets entirely, we're going to extend those actual carpets across to the iron doors at the other side on the 10th and 9 blocks. Again, it's really weird to audibly describe this, but hopefully you can just see what I'm doing and follow along. Also, speaking of iron doors though, we're going to take this opportunity to add our normal bricks and build a frame around the actual iron doors itself to kind of clean that area up. And then we're going to add our bricks, or stone bricks, excuse me, on top of that, and then add another set of stone bricks coming out 1 block. Hopefully, again, you can follow what I'm doing here. Now we're going to go back to our lonesome little single iron door, if you want to call it that, and build a frame around that so that we can separate both sides of the building. We're just going to stand on the side with the oak stairs so that we don't get ourselves locked in, and build a stone brick frame going all the way around, and then place some stone bricks in these specific places. Now going back inside and starting from the double iron doors, we're simply going to add a stone brick, I guess you could call it, I don't know, railing around the roof basically with our stone brick stairs. Hopefully you can follow along, but again, it's really a bit odd to audibly describe this, but it's very easy to follow along. Now lastly, to add in our final touches for the entire of the interior, we're just going to include our 3 torches, a lever to open the iron doors, or one of them of course, a couple of upside down spruce wood stairs with plant pots on them, and a double chest. You'll actually notice that I made a mistake and then of course corrected it with the iron doors. It was just because they weren't far enough back to be activated by the lever or the lever itself. I kind of mentioned this of course earlier on in the tutorial, but yeah, just be sure to make sure that the lever itself works with the iron doors, or else that'll be a bit of an issue. Now to finish off the first floor of the sword building, we're going to start building the roof. To start, we're going to go up our oak stairs that we placed, and above these stone bricks place oak planks. Next we'll take our oak logs and then add them going diagonally across at the back, of course behind the oak planks that we just placed. Now be aware this is a little bit tricky to do so, but you'll hopefully be able to get it easily enough. Now we'll come back beside the oak stairs that we just went up and place another row of oak planks going from the left to the right, and we're going to do this exactly 3 times. Then on the left we'll place 2 oak planks, then 1 oak log pointing towards the fountain, then 7 more oak logs going diagonally across, then another oak log pointing towards the fountain, and finally 3 more oak planks. Now each of the oak logs pointing towards the fountain are going to be extended with another 6 oak logs pointing towards the fountain as well, so yeah, it'll be easy enough to follow along here. Next, to finish off the roof, the rest is pretty simple. First, we're going to add in our 3 cobblestone blocks above each doorway on both sides, of course. And then in front of those cobblestone blocks, we're going to add 1 upside down oak wood stair and then 2 oak wood slabs. Then on the right side, we're just going to fill the rest in with oak planks, and that's the entire of the roof done there. And we're going to do the exact same basically on the left side, but leave enough room so that we can go up and down the stairs without banging our head on the roof. And lastly, to kind of hold up the roof, we're going to add in our little oak beam on the downstairs section behind the 2 oak doors. So I know I just said that lastly for the roof was what we're just doing right there, and that was the end of the roof, of course, but now we've got to lastly add in our redstone. And this part here, of course, I can't really verbally again explain what I'm doing, but hopefully you guys can just follow along with what I'm doing here. It's going to be a little bit tricky because you're going to have to try and make sure you get the little stair kind of going up design right, of course. And obviously you've only got 6 actual stone brick stairs, of course, or stone bricks to use, but hopefully you can just follow along here correctly and make sure that the actual repeater is facing in the right direction as well. And yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. That is the end of it. If you guys did go to enjoy this tutorial and found it interesting or of course useful, please be sure to share it with your friends and family, drop a like, and if you have any questions or issues, leave a comment and I'll respond as soon as possible. Also, of course, it goes without saying, but please be sure to subscribe and turn the notification bell to stay notified when I release the next episode of this series. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you peeps in the next episode. Peace out, everybody.